Welcome to the attendance form training. My name is Sharon Haynes. I will be your trainer today. We have selected this topic because of the need to have uniformity in the implementation of this important record-keeping tool. This is the form that we are currently using at my site. During this training, we will explore each area of this form and explain how it must be completed in order to ensure accuracy. Our attendance form is a 2-page document. Page 1, as you see here, documents the daily attendance for each child on your roster. Page 2 of the attendance form is used to document the reason that the child is absent from school and whether it is excused or unexcused. The header of the attendance form must be filled in completely with classroom teaching staff, center name, classroom number, and month and year for the attendance form. The box in the center is for official use only. In our center's case, this box is completed by the senior case manager. This area is used to clarify classroom statistics for the month. For our training purposes, we will not cover this area as we are only discussing the teaching staff's responsibilities. Let's discuss the attendance form codes and how they are used to document a child's attendance. The first 3 codes are codes that will be used the most throughout the month. A documents a child's unexcused absence for the day. E means the child's absence was excused. This type of absence is usually prearranged, such as a vacation or a WIC appointment. P, of course, documents the child's presence in the classroom for the day. The next 3 codes are used occasionally. I is used on the first day that a child transfers into the classroom. After the first day, P is used to document their presence. The first day that a child is absent due to a transfer out of the classroom, O is used. After the transfer is documented, the remaining days of the month are left blank. N is used to document a no school day. At our center, we use pre-filled forms, so no school days are already blacked out for us. For our training purposes, we will be using N to show the full capability of the form. The last 4 codes are used sporadically. T is used to document the first day that a child is not present in the classroom due to termination from the program. After this code is used, the remaining days of the month are left blank. S is used to document a child's first day in the classroom as a new enrollee. Thereafter, attendance is documented by the use of P for present. The same applies for RE. RE is used to document the first day that a child is re-enrolled in the program. Lastly, HSB means that the child is absent due to Head Start business. In this case, the child is absent in order to see a doctor, dentist, attend therapy, or etc., as required by the program. Now, let's see this form in action. Before we begin, let's discuss the requirements for the use of this instrument. First, Staff must use a dark ink pen to document attendance on this form. If corrections need to be made to the form, staff are to write over the previous code in the same color dark ink. Secondly, attendance must be documented by 9 o'clock each day. Thirdly, only handwritten names out of alphabetical order are accepted for new children enrolled during the month. Lastly, no whiteout is to be used on this document. For the purposes of this training, we will be using a fictitious Head Start Center, staff, and children. Before the beginning of the new month, both pages of the attendance form are prepared. The roster is typed on each page in alphabetical order, last name followed by first name. Now let's review this example. Before the new month began, the teacher was informed that Gwen Marks would be re-enrolling in the program as of the first of the month. Therefore, when the teacher prepared the monthly attendance roster, she included Gwen in the alphabetical order. She marked her first day present in the classroom with RE, denoting her re-enrollment, and followed the remaining days with P for present. In this same example, notice Mark Brown has been terminated from the program effective the 6th day. T is used to illustrate his termination. In this example, you will see several different codes used to document attendance. First, Chris Green transferred out of the center effective the 7th day as denoted by O. Next, Susie Hall was absent due to Head Start business as coded HSB. This absence is noted on page 2 with the day of the absence and the reason. Gwen Marks was also absent on this day, but she was sick. On page 1, her attendance was coded A. However, after consulting with the senior case manager, the absence was coded E for excused. Further notes are provided on page 2 to document her absence due to sickness. Be careful not to reveal any HIPAA-related information on page 2. As per our program guidelines, we noted that the parent called to inform us that her child was out due to sickness. Please review your program's policies and procedures regarding excused and unexcused absences. Lastly, you will see that we have a new child in our classroom. Abel Canning transferred into our classroom. His first day is coded I. His name would be handwritten at the bottom of the roster and also added to page 2. Next month, his name would be placed in alphabetical order within the roster. We now have advanced 2 days on our attendance form. We have received a newly enrolled student, Kent Noonan. He began on the 8th day as coded with an S. Matilda Graham had a pre-scheduled vacation day, so she was excused from school as coded with an E. The vacation day was also noted on page 2 of the attendance form. Cameron Newton has now been absent for 2 days as denoted with an A for the 8th and 9th day. On page 2, it was also noted that his teacher has not received a phone call to explain his absence. At this point, the teacher would follow your program's protocol for unexcused absences. On the bottom of the form, the teaching staff records the total attendance for each day. On the 13th day of the month, school was closed, as illustrated with an N. On the 14th day, you will notice that Matilda Graham was first marked absent. She arrived late to school that day, so the teacher wrote over the A and coded her P for present. Since the teacher had already marked Matilda absent on page 2, she will cross out the word absent and write an explanation. Remember, we cannot use whiteout on this form. Simply write over the codes and strike out on page 2. We have now reached the end of our month. The form is completely filled out and has been coded properly by the teaching staff. For our purposes, the boxes at the end of the attendance form are reserved for the senior case managers to complete. Thank you for your participation in the attendance form training. I hope that the information provided was helpful. Our goal for today's training was to improve the uniformity and the accuracy of this form.